Welcome back to Texas in Focus. My guest on the program today is Tucker Horn, who's the quarterback for the Trinity Tigers. The sixth-ranked Trinity Tigers will be taking on Hardin-Simmons in their first-round playoff match this weekend at Trinity Stadium. Tucker, thank you so much for joining the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Matthew. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So just tell us a little bit about Trinity's season this year. Last year, you don't lose a single game until the playoffs. This season, of course, you lose the first game of the year, but then run off 9 straight victories after that. I wonder if y'all played with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder after that loss to open the season.
Yeah, definitely so. This team is a very veteran team. There's a lot of old guys on this team. I think we have 40 guys that are considered seniors in the NCAA's eyes. Now, some of them can stay an extra year and stuff with COVID and all that, but very veteran group. Just talking about the first game of the year, that's a game we probably should have won. We played a very good St. John's team up in Collegeville, Minnesota. Played great for 3 quarters, and then we dealt with a lot of cramps. I think we had 5 guys out on defense and a couple guys out on offense too. I fumbled the ball late in the game, when we were going to kick a field goal and win the game. But they were a really, really good football team. But, we had our chances to win that game. And I think that's something that we hadn't felt in a while in the regular season. And I think it really has focused, a great group of Trinity football men. And it's just it says a lot to the work ethic of those guys to rattle off 9 wins in a row, not letting that slip up in week 1 affect everybody for the rest of the season.
So, of course, after that week 1 game, 9 straight victories, like you said, but 7 of those 9 victories were, basically what you'd consider blowouts. And of those 9 games, all of them were at least 2 possession games. So, it's been a pretty dominant season from y'all. I know you've been on the program for 5 years now. Is this the best team you've played on at Trinity?
Yeah, it's a different team. It's definitely probably the tightest knit group that I've been a part of, just in terms of, again, we have a lot of seniors, a lot of guys that consider themselves in the same class as one another. That's something that hasn't really happened before, but that's because COVID's never happened before. And the time we spent away from football has never happened before. But, the teams that I've had here have all been really, really good teams. I think that we've had different strengths as teams. I think in 2021, we had different strengths than in 2022 than we do now. And that's really just, because we've developed as players, we've developed different tendencies, and people have developed into different roles. So I wouldn't necessarily say, it's the best team. It's probably the most experienced team we've had. But, we're different than we were in 2021, and the same goes for last year.
And of course, this week, first up is Hardin-Simmons in the playoffs. And of course, that's a rematch of the first round of the playoffs last year. How confident and comfortable do y'all feel, headed into this first round matchup?
Yeah, well, it's something that you can't really avoid. You expect to play a team out of Texas, and this year, with Hardin-Simmons winning their conference outright, they did a great job this year of handling their business, and it's going to be fun to play Hardin-Simmons. We try to not think about last year and things like that, just because they're a totally different team. They're a totally different team from last year, and we're a totally different team from last year. But we respect the heck out of these guys. We are excited to play, but it's because it's the first round. It's another team from Texas. I think that attracts attention, in itself. So we're really excited. Again, we respect the heck out of these guys. They're a great football team, and it's going to require a lot of preparation for us to, be ready to play Saturday.
And obviously, there's no looking past the fact that, if you get past this game, you have to play North Central possibly in the next round, who's been kind of, the best team in Division III the last few years. So how do you stay focused on the task at hand and, not look forward to a, potential showdown with North Central?
Yeah, again, on any given Saturday, any team can win on any given Saturday. If you don't put the work in to be prepared for the first round of the playoffs, then you're obviously not guaranteed any other rounds. So Hardin-Simmons is our only focus right now. We're not looking past anybody. I'm sure just as North Central is not looking past Belhaven, the team that they're playing this week. Nobody's looking ahead through this whole bracket, because you got to win one day at a time, 1 week at a time. So it's really just all about us, and it's all about, how are we going to get ready for Hardin-Simmons.
I want to zoom out from the playoffs and kind of talk about your career more specifically. Last time I played a pickup game and I was the quarterback, I went 2 for 7 with 2 interceptions. So, not great. And if I look at your whole career in Division III, you've thrown 91 touchdowns and only 14 interceptions. I mean, that's a remarkable stat sheet. What kind of zone are you in? What kind of concentration does it take to, I don't even want to bring up your stats this year because I don't want to jinx you, but like what kind of concentration level does it take to be, that accurate and, just that good at the quarterback position?
Yeah, well, I don't think I mean, obviously, I think it takes a lot of time spent. For myself, I take pride in the amount of time that I've put in to get to where I am today. Just as far as studying schematics, meeting with the coaches, being on the same page with what they're wanting out of the offense. But also, it speaks volumes to who we have on this team, and who the coaches do recruit, do in their job of recruiting each and every year. We have a great set of receivers, great set of running backs, and a great O-line who all have developed, from 2021 to 2022 to 2023, in the time that I've spent as a starter. And I've been blessed to be complimented with such a great supporting cast. And those stats are just simply a reflection of all the hard work that 11 plus of us on offense are putting, all the work that we're putting in, to get better each and every day. So yeah, it requires a lot of focus, a lot of knowledge of what we're trying to do on offense. But I think that in turn, none of that happens without each and every one of the other guys doing their job and putting in the same amount of work to get better every day.
And Trinity's been quite good for a long time, but don't always get the same attention, of course, as you have the Cardinals across the street. You got the Roadrunners down the street at the Alamo Dome. I wonder, for folks that maybe don't get a chance to watch much Division III football, if you could speak to, what are some of the differences, I guess, between D3 football and what folks may watch, every Saturday with the Roadrunners. Or
Yeah. The guys on our team first of all, Division III doesn't have athletic scholarships. All of it is merit based through your school and how your academics are. So most Division III schools are very high academic institutions, just like Trinity is. It's one of the top, if not the top, academic institution in Texas. But these guys are, especially on our team and some of the top level Division III football programs, are guys that could have gone and played elsewhere for scholarships, and they chose to be around a coaching staff that's pretty, going to stay firm in their beliefs, and they're going to stay where their feet are planted. And I think that that's something you don't see at some of the higher levels. I think you see a lot of transfers nowadays. I think teams are different year in and year out. Something that sets us apart is the amount of time we've spent together. We've had dang near the exact same people on the team for the last 2 years. This will be the third year of that exact thing. We've had people graduate and stuff like that, but that's something you don't see at a higher level. These guys at Division III play for the love of the game across all athletics in Division III. People play for the love of the game. They're not playing for glory. They're playing to win games, and they're playing to they're playing for that type of glory, but they're not playing to be in the news and things like that, because at the end of the day, like it's hard for Division III to get the same amount of recognition as some of the top programs and Division I and things like that. So guys are playing for their brother next to them. They're playing for the institution, to represent the institution well. And yeah, that's pretty much all the differences from Division III. I think that coming out to a Division III football game is second to none. I mean, you're gonna experience a very tight knit group of fans who just really love the people on the field, and they really love their institution. So if you ever have nothing to do on a Saturday and want to come out, it's free to come to a Trinity football game, and we would love to have you out.
Well, I actually, speaking for myself, I actually did come to a Trinity game 2 or 3 weeks ago. Was when y'all played Millsaps, and
Okay.
it was just a total ass kicking. Y'all beat them from start to finish. I think the final score was 63-0. I think you got a break after halftime because y'all were up by so much. But it was incredible to watch you and your teammates. And I wonder as your career winds down, and your career at Trinity winds down. I believe you're a fifth year senior. What's next for you? I wonder if you plan on pursuing football at some level professionally, or if you plan on hanging up the cleats and trading them in for a student tie or something of that sort.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of had the best of both, where I've done some really great internships and things like that, and I think I think deep down too, I think my calling is to be a coach. It's going to be really hard for me to get away from the game and not. I think I just want to coach young men, and I think that is my calling. But I don't plan on hanging up the cleats after this year. I think that I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid to chase my dreams, and I've had pretty honest conversations with my coaching staff and things like that. Of that is one of my goals, and as long as one person gives me a shot, I think that I'll go after it. So, but yeah, I'm focused on the right now and things like that. I mean, you always talk about like you never know when you're in the good times until they're past you. I'm smelling the roses right now. I'm enjoying every day, every minute of it, because it can end at any moment. So, but yeah, those are kind of my plans after college. So.
Absolutely. So as we wrap this up, I always like to end this show on a lighter note. I told you in the last time I played pickup quarterback, I was 2 for 7 with 2 picks. I was hoping I could show you a throw of mine, and if you could judge it, let me know what you think.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna share the screen. Okay. You can see my screen right now?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So it's gonna move away from me quick. So I'm gonna pull up my form first. This is my form right here.
Okay. At the beach, shoes off.
We're on the beach, shoes off, and here's the video. We'll put it right here.
Great anticipation and great spot. You put the perfect amount of touch on it. In the quarterback world, we'd call that a two ball. Just giving your receiver a chance. A two ball would be middle height on the ball and just a perfect distance there. I give that a 9 out of 10. I think that putting some socks and shoes on, or socks and cleats on, might make that a 10 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10. That's awesome. When I first showed it to you, I was like hoping for a 6 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. I'm actually kind of blushing a little. That's coming from a quarterback like yourself. That's pretty damn cool. So with that, that is the Trinity quarterback, Tucker Horn. Trinity plays Hardin-Simmons this weekend. It's a home game. Like Tucker said, it's free to enter, and the game starts at 12 noon. Tucker, thank you so much for joining the program today.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it.